Hi everyone. Okay, so today we're going to be going through some Garageband Basics for basic editing and compositions. So I'm just going to go to Spotlight here. I am working on a Mac, just because this is a Mac-based program. So you can just click Garageband and let that open. Okay, and when that opens, you're just going to be given a menu like this. On the left-hand side, you're going to click New Project. And just for the purposes of this video, we're going to use loops today because it gives the most options in terms of editing and effects and layering of sounds. But the piano, electric guitar, voice, acoustic, all of that is used for basically recording of a specific instrument, whatever instrument it may be. And based on those, say if you wanted to click piano, it gives you a lot of extra options for piano recording and ways to make it sound its best. Okay. We're just going to label that my song 6, that's fine. And let that open. Okay. And when it opens, you're going to be given this screen. Let me just adjust this for you. Okay, here we go. For GarageBand, it gives you a bunch of options for sounds that it already has in its library. So if you just want to use those to make a sound composition, they work great and there's a lot of options. So let's say I want to start off with drums. Any of these that have this little symbol lit up here are ones that are included in your version of GarageBand. Let's say I want a rock drum. Here. And it will automatically start playing that when you click it down here, just to give you a sample. And it also shows how many beats each sound is, so that helps for the purpose of creating your layers. So now let's try, we can click reset up here, and we can try to find a guitar now. Yeah, that's alright. Okay, so we'll add that as well. And all that is a drag and drop that you're doing. Okay. So let's see how that sounds right now. You can use either the spacebar key or the play button on the screen here. Okay. So also if you want to make things longer, you can extend them by copy and pasting. So Command C on a Mac and Command V again, where you want to go. So you can drag that red line, say where you want that to be placed, and it will show up again for you, so it's doubled. Another thing you can do is you can actually get sounds as well from your iTunes. So if you just click this button right down here, your iTunes should automatically come up. So I'm just going to go all the way to the bottom because I do have some good songs down here. So let's just drag a song in. That's just drag and drop as well. You can drag a few if you'd like. And it will automatically create those extra layers for you. And you can imagine that this is probably going to be a bit chaotic when it's all played together. So depending on what you want to edit out and what you want to keep in there, you can either click the mute right here under that layer, or you can click the solo option that will only play that sound. So if I want to mute the drums because it's a bit overwhelming, mute the guitar as well, and then you just hear those two together. Also, if you do want to edit any specific sound, so let's say I can just drag this wherever, I'm just going to drag that red line to say I only like this small section of sound. So I can highlight that, I can click it, and then do Command T on a Mac, which will cut that sound. And I want it cut here again, so we'll just drag that to where I want it, and then Command T again, and I can delete all the other stuff if I want. All you do by that is just click and delete on a Mac keyboard. So I'm just left with this. Oh, yeah. And again, you can do that wherever you'd like. Another helpful tool is you see these sound waves in here, so clearly the sound is the most audible at that point. I can click in on there, and I can double click that and see the specific details in this bottom section here. So I can drag that into a more exact place of the sound. So it looks like it finally finishes around, yeah, probably around here. So I can cut it there as well. Okay. Okay, so yeah, that just gives a more specific take on what it is that you want to cut out, because sometimes in sounds there is little tiny tings in the background or little noises that you don't like white noise and stuff, that you can usually edit out for the most part just using this process here. Okay, so just for the purpose of what I was doing, I'm going to drag that to this part of the sound and just cut out all the rest, because you see that there's not really much happening over here. So I'll just highlight this, make sure it's clicked, and then Command T again, sorry, and make sure that part that you don't want is highlighted, and just delete that whole thing as well. Okay, and just to get rid of all this, down at the bottom here, you can just click the scissors button, which brings up the menu, so you can just click it again and close it. So I'm going to drag this to the beginning, and oh, this is the part I didn't want as well, so you can just click and delete that as well on the keyboard. Okay, now we're just going to, for the purpose of this next thing, I'm going to mute everything but the acoustic and the drums, so that you can just get a better feel for what this sounds like when you do this. So say I'm just happy with how this is so far. I can just go to the beginning. I can click these drop downs, which shows that the sound level, it shows decibels, so 0 decibels, I haven't changed anything, and it shows that they're both the same. So the sounds are just put into GarageBand with the volume that they originally have. So just in case, say you want to highlight a section of drums that you want to be more dominant, and this acoustic guitar is kind of a bit loud and kind of distracts the listener, so you can just find what section, so maybe you want to mute this, and you can find this section of guitar that you don't really like. Okay, it's all kind of the same, but the intro is a little bit awkward. So I can just bring this dot down here, or, yep, see how that works. So I can just, it shows that the decibel is changing, so that's the volume. So if I want it to be quiet for this entire section, I can just drag this up when I want it to start gaining volume. So if I do that, it will gradually start gaining volume for the introduction, so it acts as a fade-in. And you can do that for the end of the sound, so you can just do a fade out. You can drag that anywhere. You can create a new one just by clicking. So you're just going to drag that down. So let's see how that sounds now with the drums. So you can definitely notice how it's definitely quieter at the beginning and does a nice slow transition fade into the sound of the guitar. You can do the same for all the sounds, though. I'll have this drop down menu. That's why it is best to drag and drop sounds all onto their individual layers. And it just helps to keep track of everything as well. You can also use the fade in during any part of the sound that you want quieter. Like I can click a point right here, drag that down, I can click anywhere. So if I want this whole section to be quieted or muted, I can just drag that down and up just so that this is the sound getting quieter and getting louder again. You can do that anywhere to any sound at all. Another thing I want to go over is effects. So I'm just going to mute this so we can focus on the drums just to hear what the effects sound like. So I'm going to go to this I down here, which is the effects section. These are all different sections of effects. These are specific more so to acoustic guitars and so on. So just for more electronic sounding effects, I go to effects. They're more computer generated. So I can hear how this sounds to begin with. And I can start clicking effects at any time. So I can press play or spacebar and start clicking the effects. Oh, sorry guys, it just didn't have that selected there, so you're just going to click that first and then click the effect. Click continue. So you can hear the changes there. So whenever you're happy with one, it will automatically apply or change. So you can click no effect to get it to go back to the original. And then whatever one you want. So I kind of like the intense whispering, so we're going to go with that. And as you can see, like it'll change in the layer itself, so it will label as that. So this will stay as live edgy drums, like the original label, but this will label the effect, so you can see exactly what effect is on there. Okay. And yeah, basically that's it for effects. They all work the exact same way. Just some are just more for specific sound. But you can use any effect on any sound, so it's good that way. Okay, I just want to go over a few extra buttons in GarageBand. So this left to right knob you don't have to worry about unless you're going into binaural sound or anything like that. It's just basically saying that the sound is heard equally by both left and right speakers or headphones. If you want to just put that to the left, it'll be heard more from one ear than the other. So let's try that totally left. So you can see how that changes. And if the metronome bothers you, you can turn that off. It's just this button right here. If you're not trying to keep the beat specifically, or if you don't need it to. In this you can change whether you want it to do measures of time, or you can use a tuner there, your metronome there, or regular time here in seconds and minutes. I'm going to stay with measures just for the purpose of this, but yeah, basically that is the main functions that you need to be aware of. And when you're all set with your final composition and you're happy with it, all the ones that are muted that you didn't like, if you didn't delete them, that's fine, as long as they're muted in your final piece. You can export it that way and those sounds will stay muted. Or you can delete entire layers. So I can just click this, click delete, and that will delete there. Okay, and sorry for the little bit of a lengthy video, guys, but that covers just about everything you need to know about GarageBand. So just when you're finally finished, you can click share at the top. Make sure everything is the way you want. Make sure what you want unmuted is unmuted, or what you want deleted, deleted. And you can send song to iTunes, which is probably the easiest option. That way the song will go to your iTunes in an MP3 format. Or if you don't want to do that, you can export song to disk if you don't use iTunes. And I would go stay with AAC for better quality, but you can choose MP3 as well if you want a smaller file. and just stay with high quality and click export. I'm not going to do it right now, but as soon as you click export, it will go to your desktop. Thank you very much.